Maybe if I do something a little different, like just put it on nope, that didn't work. You stinking paperclip! Oh, hey boys and girls, it's Pastor Jonathan, and I'm trying to work on a little project. I'm trying to make a paperclip float. Who's ever been able to make a paperclip float on water? Like just putting it in nicely, and no, it didn't work. And I think I've seen somebody make a paperclip float before. But it's so frustrating right now because I can't do it. With my fingers, I can't do it. But I know I've seen somebody do it. And I'm even having doubt that I can do it by myself. It's getting really frustrating to me. Who's ever had doubt about what they were doing or what was going on in their situation? I know I have. Obviously, right now, I don't think I can make this paperclip float at all. And there was even a story in the Bible where someone had doubt, just one moment of doubt. So let me read this story. It's found in Matthew 14:22 is the start of it. And it's when Jesus was walking on water. So this story, it starts off with immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. And if you don't know what buffeted by the waves, that means it's rocking really bad. It's moving back and forth, and it's not too great when a boat starts rocking really bad, is it? It could sink. And so that's what I'm sure the disciples were afraid of it. So shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. Now, I know when I was a kid, we were told this story. Jesus walking on the lake. And we would put floaties on our feet to try to make ourselves be able to walk on the lake. Who's ever done that? Or walk on the water or in the pool and you're trying to float. But that's not really walking on water, is it? No, you're trying to stand on the floaty. You're not on top of the water. But it says that Jesus was walking on the lake, full of water. So then it says, when the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. They even thought it was a ghost. They said and cried out in fear that, it's a ghost! Imagine that. The disciples are in fear, crying out that there's a ghost. And then Jesus said immediately to them, take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid. And Peter said, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water. So Peter's like, hey, if it's actually you, tell me that I can walk on water and come to you. Jesus said, come. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink and cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. And he said, you have of little faith, why did you doubt? And when they climbed back into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, truly you are the Son of God. Now, boys and girls, I want you to think about that. Jesus was walking on water, casual, like we walk on land, which is a little odd, I know. And then Peter asks and says, hey, if it's actually you, Lord, if it's really you, then why don't you tell me to walk on land? I mean, well, he already walks on land. To walk on water. That's what he says. He says, if it's you, tell me to come out and walk on the water with you. And at that moment, if Jesus said, hey, come on out, Peter had faith. Peter had faith in Jesus. So much faith, it allowed him to walk on water. Boys and girls, with everything that's going on in life, with everything that's happening, with everything that is, it just seems crazy. My brain feels like it's going to explode all the time whenever I think of the situation that we're in right now. And that some of us are stuck at home, some of us are in school, none of us are probably in school right now. And like maybe some of us, only one person can go out of the house at a time. Like there are situations in our world that we would never think would have to happen before. And that's what's going on. Some of us are a little afraid and we have doubt that God can take care of us. But if we look back at our Bible story, let's start off with our first point. Peter started walking on water with faith in God, with faith in Jesus. And my first point is, with faith, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Like we look at it here. Peter was walking on water with faith. I hear a lot of stories, and I've had many stories myself, where I just trusted in God to take care of me and had faith that he would take care of me. And you want to know what would happen? He would take care of me. It may not have been in my way that I wanted to be taken care of, but it was in God's way. Maybe he sent someone to help me, or he had the church help me, whatever it may be. I had faith in God, and God allowed anything to happen because he loves us. He wants to take care of us. So that's point one. With faith, anything can happen. Now, point two, and this is the next part of our story, is Peter was walking on water, and what did he see? It says that he saw the wind. Now, we know we can't see wind, can we? No, not quite. But he probably saw a big wave coming in, because when it's windy and it's a windy day on a lake or on the shore or whatever, the waves start kicking, don't they? They start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And even I was on a trip to a beach, and the waves were huge one day. And the sand was hitting our faces. Like I was laying down, and my ear was covered in sand because it was so windy. And the waves were huge. So Peter saw that, and he automatically started, maybe he got scared. Maybe he was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to sink. And he started to fall and sink. And that brings me to point two. And point two is that doubt can make us fall. Now, with this situation that's going on now, many of us, maybe the adults, maybe the parents, many of you guys may have some doubts in your mind. Now, that doesn't mean that you're doubting Jesus is real, or that you're doubting that anything can happen, or whatever it may be. It just means that in the current situation, you're doubting that things are going to get okay, that they're going to be all right. It's okay to look at the situation and say, man, that's bad. But to look at the situation and be like, oh, we're not going to get out of this. This is going to be, the world is going to blow up. Don't doubt in Jesus. Don't doubt in God, because God's going to come through in the end. We should have faith in him because he could make anything happen with faith. Kind of like my paper clips. I really don't think for a while I was trying to make a paperclip float with my hands. Yeah, it's difficult. Actually, I got that one to float. What? That one's floated. Boys and girls, even when all things are stacked against us, as long as we have faith in the situation that Jesus will take care of us, anything can happen. With doubt, that just brings our mindset down a little bit. It doesn't mean that it's horrible that you're doubting. No, it's okay to doubt. But if that's stuck in your mind, then things in your mind are just going to fall, and maybe life will become a little bit more difficult. It's kind of like when we're aggravated about a game. Many times, if I'm aggravated about a game or something that I'm working on, I have to say, wait, I have to take a break. I step back, start working and doing something else. When I come back, I figure out the situation and I make it work. Boys and girls, there's one final point. And it's super simple. And if anything, this is what I want you to get out of our lesson. When life goes upside down, so for the month of April, because we're almost in April, for the month of April, we're talking about the upside down, how life can get us upside down, or things happen and it flips our world upside down. But when life goes upside down, we can always trust in Jesus. We can. He shows us in the Bible so many times that we can trust in him. Just like how when Peter started falling and sinking into the water, Jesus stuck out his hand and grabbed him immediately to save him. Jesus isn't going to make us sink. He's not going to make us fall. He's going to make sure that we have a way to get out of our situation. And it may not be the way that we want, but it's his way. So boys and girls, I succeeded at making a paperclip float. Let's see if I can do it again. That's 2 for 2. And they're actually connecting to each other. And even, maybe we can't do it ourselves. Maybe we need some help. I even made a little paperclip thing that's bent. And let's see if this works. Maybe it's because my hands aren't. Now I'm going to have a hard time making this. My hands aren't steady enough. And it worked. Boys and girls, like I said, with faith, anything can happen. Anything. Then number 2 is doubt can make us fall. It can, in our mindset, it just makes life a little bit more difficult. It's okay to doubt, but don't let that be everything that you think. Then 3 is when life goes upside down, we can always trust in Jesus. So boys and girls, I'll speak to you guys on Sunday. I'm so glad that I can use even a video camera to try to contact you guys and talk to you guys in a way. I miss you guys. I hope to see you guys soon. And have a good rest of the week. Bye.